And so, I mean, we can go through
here. You can stifle the trigger, I believe, on Rest in Peace that removes all graveyards.
Yes, you can stifle the RFG on Rest in Peace. So there are a lot,
which could be very relevant
with
a Nimble Mongoose.
Right,
and
effectively almost a counterspell at that point. So
yeah.
All right, here we go. Let's get started. Without further ado, the finals: Blue White Red Miracles versus Rug Delver.
Both players lead on a fetch land. Eric Rill cracking his on the draw here. Does he have the turn 1 Delver? That's what he'd like. Turn 1 Delver. He could also have turn 1 Nimble Mongoose.
It's either Nimble or it's a Delver. Maybe a Ponder. Doubt it. He looks way too excited to be playing a Ponder here. Yeah.
It is a Nimble Mongoose, so.
All right. It looks like Alex has Counterbalance in his hand already, which is going to be. It's going to be on hold here. We're going to brainstorm first. Nimble Mongoose is extremely good against Miracles. Obviously, he can just Wrath it eventually. However, he has, it takes a little bit of time to do. So he can definitely get Threshold quick and then get some decent beats in there.
Yeah, no, just having the old hexproof, it's called Shroud.
Right.
is good. It requires Wrath. I'll tell you one thing though, Counterbalance pretty good against Rug Delver with all these just 1s and 2s.
Oh yeah, once you get Counterbalance and top out, it's gonna get rough. So Eric draws, and we had this problem earlier with seeing his hand. It's off camera. It's actually into La La Land there.
You see a brainstorm from Eric, and he's gonna try to set things up for his next couple turns here.
I wish I could see something. Just thinking here. Right, so Wasteland, I caught that. A Force, a Ponder.
Yep.
Okay, so he's got plays. It looks like it's a pretty good hand. I don't think you play the Misty Rainforest, so you 100% play Wasteland and Wasteland the Tundra. I think that's kind of like the unsaid rule of Delver. You waste the control player, waste any player immediately, and you wait on your spells. Happens on turn 1 when on the draw. Happens turn 2. And even though you have a Delver here, I think you still want to waste him and then just play it next turn.
Eric plays that Delver following up a Brainstorm, so very likely that Delver's going to flip because Eric knows exactly what's on top of his library. And we have Alex tapping 1 for a Glare card, I believe. It's maybe Sensei's Divining Top. It's an Enlightened Tutor.
I had to back my head up a minute for that's.
Yeah, it's funny because we were sitting here like leaning, trying to avoid the glare, but that's actually on camera, so it doesn't do anything. Not real sure what happened, what changed in the lighting situation because it wasn't this bad earlier. I didn't know that these lights don't move, do they?
No, I think my eyeball is about to explode here.
It was a top. Okay, sorry about that.
So Delver did not flip. So
that's interesting.
Not only did he not have a Delver flip here, he elected not to waste here. Now, he is really setting himself for a Terminus. So if Alex can get a Terminus, he can really take control of this game right away.
He's going to spin top and take a look at the top few cards. I did see a Jason.
How many Terminus we rock in main deck?
3.
Okay, so I think he has 1 in hand. I can't really see it. It's on the edge there. I see a white card. I know he has a Jason hand also. A couple expensive spells. Alright, so Alex here is shuffling again. Let's see what he's got in store. He needs an answer to this miniature army that Eric has.
Yeah, they're a pretty miniature army. You could say they're even, a spectral procession.
Yeah.
Except, none of them fly.
Right. In a blink of an eye, they become absurd here.
They can grow pretty quickly, but at the moment they're...
Remember the first name? Not for this deck, but similar cards, the old Miracle Grow deck with Queer and Dryad and other nifty small guys, and that is a Terminus, and that is going to be a devastating blow here to Eric if he can't force a will and battle for it here. I see a Spell Pierce, I see a Force.
I also see a Supreme Verdict.
Oh,
so even
man, he is just stacked here.
Yeah, that's a Verdict, I'm pretty
sure. You know what
I
would do here? I would try for the Terminus first, obviously, and let Eric go nuts over it, and then Verdict. If he has the mana for all this. When is this? Are we in the main phase right now? I think we're in his main phase, right? Well, he almost put alright, he needs to make sure he puts the order here right.
So he's going to look and see. I believe it was Enlightened Tutor, and then on top is Terminus.
Okay, so he pocketed the Verdict. I think he's going to go during his draw step here.
So it's Verdict, Spell Pierce,
Yeah,
Counterbalance.
he's going to say go. He's going to
land.
let him attack. He's going to let him do all that. And then he's going to try to Terminus here.
And we have a Ponder from Eric.
Okay, Eric's going to try to get Threshold prior to attacking here, which is not too hard for his deck.
Pondering the Ponder. Now, I don't know how many lands Alex has untapped, but
Alex has 2
Okay.
untapped.
Okay, so he can.
And one's a fetch. So he can draw a card top with a Miracle Trigger on the stack, get a Plains, and then do it. Then he can Spell Pierce to protect it. And then when Eric does Force, it doesn't matter because Alex will then untap and then Supreme Verdict. I think Delver. So Delver did not flip again, and this goes back to
Interesting.
He could have wastelanded a turn earlier, and would that have changed anything? He would have definitely been a little out-tempoed here.
So he's shuffling away that Terminus.
I guess
he feels he's got the Verdict.
The
No
Verdict's
need
good
to
enough,
waste the
yeah.
Terminus at this point.
But the great thing about the Verdict is, or the Terminus, it would have taken not only...
Really?
It would not only take away a Spell Pierce, but it would also take away the Terminus as well. Or excuse me, the Force as well.
Alright,
Alright, so we are still prior to combat, and we are setting up okay. Alright, so we're going to talk a little bit quieter.
we'll move the microphone a little closer too. That way it's easier for you guys to hear if that helps. Does that help, Shuba?
We're afraid of
We don't want the players
next
to hear
door
us, but
hearing
we want
us.
to be able to tell you guys what we're seeing
Right,
if we're
right.
catching things in people's hands. And it's awkward if they can hear us talking
Right.
about each other's hands.
Especially a Miracle. If
Yeah.
Terminus is kind of awkward. Alright, so we're in the situation here where we know what's going to happen. They obviously didn't hear us because, you know, here comes Terminus or Verdict.
Yeah, so there's the Supreme Verdict that we were talking about.
Verdict's another card when it was printed where I said Rug Delver's going to take a huge hit from this. So they got a huge hit from Abrupt Decay, and Verdict is almost as bad for them. It's at 4, but does the Miracle deck care about 4 mana? They have tons of basics to be able to fetch it out and get their 4 mana. And what do? Do you play a creature? Do you play a second creature? Do you play a third creature? Or do you hold them back and let them, you know, take a 3 every turn? You got to play multiple
Right.
creatures to put pressure on these decks in order to beat them.
It's funny because it's very similar to the what happened to Delver in Standard as well, where, you know, it was, oh, it's going to mana leak your Day of Judgment. You're not going to mana leak my Supreme Verdict, even if you had mana leak.
Right? This is a guaranteed insurance card. Delver cannot overrun you. Alright. We have a Ponder.
A lot of pondering.
Yeah, we're
That's
thinking
just
here.
kind of how these decks run, especially Rug Delver is very very intent on setting up the top few cards of his library naturally, just because of the namesake of the deck.
Yep, we got flipper guys.
But I believe Eric's reached a threshold at this point, so any further nimble mongooses are going to be a little buff.
Right. Alright.
And we have a lightning bolt, so Alex is at 8. Gonna eat a bolt to the face and go to 5.
Think about if he would have done the Terminus here. Eric is now still have all his counter spells, and Terminus could have taken care of that. Now, being at 5, and your opponent has a lot of counter magic, Alex could be taken out of this game. Alright, so counterbalance in top here, as you said, is devastating. Here comes the war.
Alright, so counterbalance on the stack.
Oh, Eric has a Snapcaster Mage in his hand, so that alone could be a killer, and the turn
Snapcaster,
Snapcaster
lightning
bolt
bolt.
you
Yeah.
to you. However, this counterbalance gets through. Eric is in a world of hurt here.
Yeah, Alex has
He also has
access
Brainstorm, too.
Alex has access to Force of Will and Spell Pierce, I believe, in his hand. Force of Will, Brainstorm, Spell Pierce, I believe, is his hand. Now, of course, Eric has Force of Will, Spell Pierce as well. He's going to force removing Spell Pierce, and Alex is going to Spell Pierce back, and Counterbalance still in the stack, and it resolves.
Yeah, that's it.
So at 5 life, Alex makes some measure of stabilization at this point with the Counterbalance top Soul Bond.
Soulbound cards. That's pretty funny.
Alright, so looks like Alex spun top at the end of turn and now has Rest in Peace on the stack. This will take care of Threshold if Eric lets it resolve and doesn't stifle the trigger. In response, Eric is going to cast Snapcaster Mage.
And
right on top
Eric's
is
gotta be feeling like dirt here.
Counterbalance on the top counters the Snapcaster. So
Eric's gonna
Rest
need.
in Peace is in play.
Here's what's gonna happen. Alex is gonna find a 1-drop, and once he does, Eric can't win, because there's
His entire deck is 1s and 2s, and there it is. Enlightened Tutor.
That's it. Because no
So
matter
he's
what
gonna-
Eric draws, any series of cards, even the 2s in Eric's deck does nothing. He's got the counterbalance and the 1-drop.
Yep,
So
he
therefore,
needs to find a way to win. He's also got the 1-drop in the form of Sensei's Divining Top, but he'd obviously much rather have that
right,
on
it's easier to
top
have
of
it
his library.
floating with the 1 there than
Yeah.
the top itself.
But yeah, Alex needs a win condition at this point, so he's going to use that 1-drop, the Enlightened Tutor.
Oh, he's just gonna get Helm of
He's going to
Obedience,
find
too.
Helm of Obedience, and he's going to have to force that through. But so far, he's already forced through 2 pretty big spells, so he's got to feel like Eric can't have too much in the way of counter spells at this point.
And we mentioned earlier why Rest in Peace is so good, or this deck's so good, because Rest in Peace is good against every deck. There's not like one deck where you're not, upset about having it.
Yeah.
And then why not throw a 1-card combo in there that just kills you?
Yeah, like I'm playing Rest in Peace anyway, so may as well just play one of this card.
No, it's pretty
And a couple of
genius.
Enlightened Tutors that can search up Counterbalance or Top as well. Alright, so there you go, Helm of Obedience, and we have a 5, full hard cast, Force of Will from
Right.
Eric Rill.
And he has no
And Alex
force.
has Force Brainstorm, and Eric's going to scoop him up. So Alex is like, wait, that was just game 1.
Yeah. So Rug Delver falls to Alex in his Blue-Eye Red Miracles.
In game 1.
Right.
Just game 1. This is just part of the battle here.
I was going to say game 1, but, we can
Mhm.
finish each other's sentences. It's kind of cute, so.
It is. We've been practicing all weekend.
So game 1 goes in the Miracle world here, and we have one last trivia question.
Do you wanna go with this one? So
All right,
you
let me
guys
see
know
if I-
how this works.
Let me see if
We're
I can
gonna-
read your handwriting.
Okay,
here.
you take a look at that. You think about that. Concentrate. I'll explain to them how this works.
Okay, I think I
got
can
it?
get this. I think I can
That
get this.
shouldn't be too bad.
I'm ready for you.
But I'll tell you guys how it works. If you missed it, if you're not familiar with this, we're going to give away a year of Star City Games Premium to a random correct answer that tweets the answer to this question with the hashtag SCG Premium. So see it under there. Tweet the answer, include that hashtag, and you're in the running as long as you have the correct answer. Random person will win a year of premium, and that's deep into
1 year.
That's right. We'll be deep into Return to Cold Snap Winter is
I
coming.
actually got a
by
tweet
that
from
point.
somebody. Let's take a look. See, and
We're getting
Eric
some Cold Snap.
Osby, who said, "Call it Return to Cold Snap Winter's coming,
That's
or
what I just said.
possibly Cold Snap 2 Electric Boogaloo."
I like Winter is coming better
like
just
that
for
one?
its well electric. That's the standard like whatever 2 Electric Boogaloo. That's what we do. Okay. That one was weak, but I like
think it was
I like
alright.
the Winter is coming.
Winter's
we'll go with
coming.
that
That's
one.
nice.
So
Well,
we'll go with that.
as we learned earlier, Joey mentioned that 12 months is almost as long as a year yesterday. That
just
was
just
amazing.
shy of a year.
He said just shy of a year, so we'll give you just shy of a year if you get this right. Okay. Which Star City Games writer was featured multiple times on camera
Today.
playing Storm? which Star City Games writer was showcased multiple times playing Storm. He is a big name in the Star City world.
Sure is. And you, if you've been watching coverage all day, if you've been watching even the replays,
Right.
he's been featured in the replays. He's been on camera multiple times.
I think that was a
Storm.
hint. Can we get a flag over here?
Flag for hint. I like it.
Personal foul.
I like it. What's the
Um,
penalty on that?
I don't know.
Is that like, it's got like a 5-yarder.
I know what's. I know this is gonna get to a Super Bowl comment, so we're just gonna.
Hey, you brought up the flag.
Can we cut to commercial?
You brought up the flag. We could just turn the lights out for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever.
And then he gets to pay some refs off. All right, so we get to the finals here. We're in game 2. We have sideboarding up on the screen here. What do you like? I like Geist of St. Traft. It seems not very good against Rug Delver. I think it's good against a lot of decks. I wouldn't bring it in this scenario. The Sword Deplashers definitely has to come in.
2 red elemental blasts as well.
Right. Elemental Blast. Let's see. The Snaring Bridge.
That's pretty weak in this deck, I think. I mean, it's pretty weak. You don't bring that in. Engineered explosives, pretty sweet.
Yeah, Energy Field is really bad too. I wouldn't bring any of that in. Looking at this, so we really don't have too much to bring in besides the explosives and the sword, and then that blast.
His main deck is pretty well set up to deal with
Right.
Eric's deck, and
He fights the aggro creatures pretty well game 1. Let's see. Do you think Eric's gonna bring in the cooperation?
he might bring in cooperation to give his creatures banding. He just needs the one guy to have banding, and then, we'll see.
Right. I hope.
But
I think what an epic finish that would be. Game 3.
Winning with banding.
Yeah, win with banding.
The problem is, how's he going to generate that white mana? But we'll find out.
That's neither here nor there.
Okay, so underway here, Game 2 of the finals of the StarCityGames.com Legacy Open here in Indianapolis. Alex Binek playing Blue-White-Red Miracles versus Eric Rill's Rug Delver. Eric down a game here. And Alex with an Island and a Scalding Tarn, and has, well, I believe it's a Sensei's Divining Top, because not, it could also just be, a Brainstorm or something.
Right, it could be. All right, well, I think that...
It's top? Okay.
Yeah, it's
We
top.
figured it was top.
It's
but,
top. It's kind of like floating around there. It feels like a top.
All right, so Eric, though, seems to have a response to the casting of top, so I believe that top is on the stack still. We've got a cracked fetch land, Misty Rainforest. Eric with a tropical island and a volcanic island and a Brainstorm.
All right, so Brainstorm here, drawing 3. Back into Neverland, where we can't see his hand. Is bad when we see... I see, like, a gap there. Is he sitting so far away from the table? All right, there it is. It's like... Is he standing up and playing? All right,
He's
so
leaning way back. That's
back.
how he likes to play,
He
apparently.
is just relaxing. He's what we like to say in our area, just hanging out. That's what he's doing. Just hanging out, having a good time. All right, so ponder here. See what he thinks about. And he likes what he likes what he has there.
So that, to me, means the Sensei's Divining Top has resolved.
Yeah.
Considering this ponder
We're in sorcery mode now,
yeah,
so
I thought this was all in response
unless we're
to
all
the top.
having a friendly shortcut game here.
Yeah.
All right, Delver Secrets, which is guaranteed to flip in most scenarios.
Well,
there.
almost guaranteed. I mean, Eric can know whether or not it's guaranteed. We
Right.
can't. And so you see a Terminus, an Engineered Explosive,
Oh,
and a
yeah.
Spell Pierce.
We can barely see his
on the
hand. Do you
top.
think we're gonna be able to see the top of that library? That is
I
not
see it.
happening. No, the other side.
The other
side,
side, for
yeah.
sure. Alex is cooperative as far as showing us his cards.
Oh, well,
Eric,
we'll
I don't
have
think
to talk with
Eric's plays cooperation, but he doesn't. He's not
Yeah.
cooperative as far as that.
Yeah, thanks for pointing that out.
He
Man,
needs cooperation.
He needs some. He needs,
No, I don't think
How
he
are we gonna make a
realizes
band
he's.
together?
I don't think he realizes that he's being so uncooperative.
yeah.
So,
Okay, we gotta speak a little quieter again. All right, so we've been informed by the head judge again. We're a little too quiet,
they really need to play music over there. I'm not even kidding.
Yeah,
I don't want them to hear us, but we want you guys to hear us.
Right, the hall is cleared, so we're pretty much at a.
Nobody's got an iPod or something.
Right. This is not good.
All right.
All right, so we'll talk at this level.
Yeah.
Alright, Brainstorm here resolves. So Delver did not flip. He's doing this during his upkeep. There we go. Now it's going to flip. Stifle. Delver's in a pretty good spot here.
I think at this point we just needed to stop referring to what we see in their hands, just to be safe.
Okay, yeah. I feel like we have our dad in the other room and our mom over here.
Shh.
Mommy's saying it's okay to talk about it, and Daddy's saying, shh.
Alright, we got a Tarmogoyf on the stack. Alex, I believe, is responding by taking a look at his top 3 there, and it looks like Tarmogoyf is resolved, and Eric passes the turn. So Eric building up his army, and we have a Terminus on top.
I used to say yesterday.
And we know Eric has the Stifle, right? So he's going to stifle the Miracle trigger.
I usually say this, and I think I'm allowed to. Yesterday I go, it's a
wait
miracle.
Wait a second, back up. Where's... So he untaps, Terminus comes down, and then Eric casts Stifle, I believe, on the Miracle trigger. Is that not right? Yeah, I'm just trying to...
That's what's happening.
Okay,
right
yeah, he's...
Yep.
So, and, so it goes into his hand.
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, he didn't tap any mana for that.
Do you see any lands in Alex's hand?
I don't.
I don't either, I think.
And we have an Engineered Explosives from Alex.
For 0.
And a Rest in Peace from Alex.
Both cards very good. Oh man, that is devastating.
Yeah, so
Makes
Tarmogoyf,
it- is
very
done.
small. Nimble Mongoose, not on the table right now, but pretty small.
And Delver is
Delver is
dead
still
man
Delver.
walking with Engineering Explosive for 0.
It's a dead man flying, but yes.
You know, if I get auto-corrected one more time here.
Autocorrect. If it was autocorrect, I'd be changing your words into completely different things.
I don't even want to say what auto-correction happens here. All right,
So it looks like Delver connects there. Alex is content to take the 3.
God, Eric is down to 2 cards, and his entire deck nearly does nothing at this point.
And we have a Swords
He
to
doesn't even
Plowshares.
need to
Wow.
he's not even wasting the Engineering Explosives.
No, he's not. I'm actually kind of surprised.
He wants to brainstorm, that's why. He's a greedy man. You greedy, greedy man, you.
That's what it was. So he's brainstorming.
Oh, is that no land still?
Found
It's
another.
Scarlet Turn.
Found a land. Found a Swords to Plowshares. He's putting Terminus back.
I need to look at Eric's list and see what he could possibly draw, because I can't think of anything. He has Snapcaster dead, 4 Nimble Mongoose dead, 4 Tarmogoyf dead, and then he has 3 Delver, but he has Engineering Explosive for 0 to stop that. And all of his spells are Bolts, Chain Lightnings, Ponders, Daze, Brainstorm, Spell Pierce. These all do absolutely nothing.
So there you see Snapcaster does something. It's a bear. It's a flash. It's an Ashcoat bear. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's Delver
There we go.
Secrets,
So
which
he's
Eric kind of doesn't want to flip.
Right. He's going to have to keep that on the low there. But the thing is, Alex has a miracle of time. Of course, we knew that was happening because
Right, he put it back.
The brainstorm. And now,
Terminus resolved.
do you see any avenue where Eric can climb back in this?
Well, he has Alex down to 10. He's got...
Hitsugu's second right, do you think?
He may have hit Hitsugu's second right.
Hitsugu's
That is a
second
card
right.
that you are allowed to not register and still play. I'm totally lying. Don't do that.
That's my favorite card in Cube, by the way. If you haven't seen the viral wedding photo of me and my wife getting married, Ashley, I'm cubing and I'm slaying one of my best friends with a Hitsugu second right, and it was quite epic. It's actually in the church.
Well, unfortunately, that avenue is cut off because Alex is now at 9.
Okay, so now
So
he
no-
can't
no
Hitsugu
second
second
right.
right now.
But triple bolt
maybe
can work.
Urza's
Eric has
Rage with kicker, maybe.
that might work as well. I think Eric actually does have a few ways to do damage here and there. as I mentioned, Lightning Bolt could help. Alex there is going to attempt to cast a Geist of St. Draft. Eric uses all 5 lands to hard cast Force of Will on the Geist of St. Draft, and Alex has he flips the top, finds a Spell Pierce, and pierces the Force of Will. So Geist of St. Draft resolves. Eric follows that up with a Tarmogoyf, and Tarmogoyf is looking pretty skinny.
So yeah, instead of, remember when I said I was going to play 4 main deck Chalice of the Void? I'm actually going to play 4 main deck Rest in Peace instead.
There you go. I like that plan.
Yeah, we changed it up a little bit.
Play a Helm of Obedience, because why not?
Let's play both.
All
Let's
right.
play Rest in Peace and Chalice.
I think those Rest in Pieces might be a problem for your Lingering Souls
It's
addiction.
fine. Just, Lingering Souls is good enough to even play with it. It's alright.
All right, so top comes back down, and he passes back. Alex passes back. Eric now swinging with the Tarmogoyf, which is a 0/1. It's just attacked for fun.
This is yeah.
That was
We're
just
in
in goofy mode here.
goofy mode. We're in the
guess I don't blame
finals.
'em.
It's midnight. People are getting loopy, and especially players that have a deck full of creatures that are actually 0 powered.
And here comes a counterbalance to Soulbond with the top. Geist and Angel get in.
This is
Eric now
now- yeah,
scoops them up, and Alex Binek with Blue White Red Miracles takes the tournament.
Alex Binek wins the tournament.
Oh shh!
Oh, sorry about that.
Don't tell them.
All right, well, congratulations to Alex
congratulations.
Binek, miracle player. I had my doubts when he was playing against the
lone player.
The lone player,
Jeff
but
Hoogland.
yeah, but man, what a win here today, overcoming that tough matchup, and then obviously Rug Delver, not the toughest matchup. I thought it was more even, but then again, I have the old miracles in my head, and it's hard to switch. Rest in Peace.
Really helps against that deck a lot. Yeah.
It does. I can't think of a card better.